Welcome back to Lawyer Talk. I'm Adam Goldfein, and with my good friend Richard Griffin. I will tell you, if you've been involved in, let's say, a motor vehicle accident, and you don't call Richard's office, you very well may be receiving less money than you should. And that's really what we're talking about, are the damages that you receive after you've been injured. Now, Richard, you started telling us real fast that I would have compensation for my medical expenses. You added on lost wages.
Right.
You added on pain and suffering,
right?
We started talking about that, and I had jumped to the question of claim evaluation because I think, and let me just kind of roll back, I think there are scenarios where people are involved, let's say, in very minor accidents. They have a little whiplash or a little soreness, and somebody at work will tell them, "Now you don't have a claim. Forget it. Just go on your way," or they feel guilty.
Right.
Do they have a claim if it's, let's say, a very minor situation, or could they have a claim?
Yes, they absolutely do. And having a claim, just involves a negligent driver causing an accident which leads to an injury.
Okay.
I think what is important to know is sometimes you may feel like you have a minor injury,
right,
but you don't get better in time. In fact, you may even get worse. You seek more and more treatment. Conservative care doesn't work, so then you get injections. They do tests. They go, wow, we thought it was a soft tissue injury. Now it's a herniated disc. I had a case like this, and it was a relatively minor impact in that it was $1,200 worth of property damage. The adjuster was like, oh, nobody could be hurt.
Sure.
Well, it turned out that when the treatment was done, he needed to have not only injections, but also a fusion. The fusion didn't take well and needed to have a second surgery and then had an infection. Well, people said, well, gosh, how can you really be hurt with $1,200 worth of property damage? Which clearly is not the truth, but that's what adjusters like to argue. In this case, we tried the case and ended up getting $500,000 for that individual who had $1,200 worth of property damage.
So you're talking really just a bumper. $1,200 is a very light impact on an automobile.
Right.
Right? And then as a result, it resulted in a $500,000 I guess, conclusion to that matter.
Yes, a jury verdict. And the reason why is because the property damage, even though they like to latch on to that, there are a lot of studies. There was a study in Florida where there was over 500 deaths and over 100,000 serious injuries from a 10-mile-an-hour or less impact.
Really?
So, that's one of the arguments that adjusters and defense attorneys really like to play up on. But what's more important is looking at the facts of the case. Is that individual really injured? And the doctors are the ones who are best in the position to make that call.
And obviously, the insurance company's position is they are trying to adjust and settle that claim for as little money as possible.